top of my heat. Got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to put it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn. Laps in, from the back to the front. I'm making my move one at a time. I'm picking them off. 2 back from the lead, working on second place, coming out of 3. I put it straight to the wood, 'cause where I'm at ain't good enough for me. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn see me coming, high to 4 is the move I'm making. He's about to learn to rub in his racing. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to put it up again, tear it up again. The only way I'm ever gonna learn. Yeah, it's all about one more lap, one more year, one more left turn. One more left turn.
Well, good evening, everybody. Here we are for another edition of the Inside Line presented by our friends at Dirt Track Bank. Rob, what the heck are you doing? You're finally around and at home for a little bit again?
Yeah, feels good. Got my work done out in the field and been to a few races lately, though, too. I know some places are getting a lot of rain and not getting as many races in, but lately here we've been getting a lot of races in certain spots. So having a blast going racing, getting the work done, and I don't know when our last podcast was. I bet you we should have probably been doing it a few times, but it's good to be back with you tonight. And I think we got some pretty cool things to talk about tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be fun jumping back on here kind of, I don't know, a Tuesday versus a Wednesday. And rain's maybe kind of helping us get a couple guys on with us and talk about a couple things that maybe we need to talk about for some time here. But it is good to jump on here and just have some fun again with the podcast and interact with our fans and our racers, our racetracks, kind of like we set out to do with this deal. And as always, we mentioned this is interactive, so any questions, anything like that, you guys make some comments, talk a little bit, and drivers and folks on here can see that. So it looks like same Wade Hansen says, "Hey, what's up, Rob?" So already on here. So
Samuel cool. Wade. Good call, Scott. And I think to all of our viewers that are joining us right now, message some of your friends because it's an interesting show. We might have a guest or two that's going to be a lot of fun to listen to tonight. So help spread the word real quick here, and let's get some stuff going. Scott, what's the itinerary for us tonight?
Well, I mean, I think we're just gonna really recap some of the races that we've been to. I mean, it's crazy to think that our first race was already back in April. It doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but I mean, you're 6-7 weeks ago already. Our first race up at Off-Road Speedway. Finally getting a spring race in up there that was real good. Good way to kick off the modified or Sport Mod series up there. And then we went to Stewart, and we'll talk with the folks, Wakeeney Speedway, Thomas County Speedway. Bring on a fellow that's no stranger to Dirt Crown, and talk with Jordan Grabowski, maybe changing some hats and some roles for Jordan this year that we can help him spread the word of some cool things he's got going on there. And maybe we get one other guest on here yet if things work out okay in time schedules and everything like that.
Yeah. Big night tonight. Should we get going? We've had a lot of Dirt Crown races here. We've been able to get some in. We've missed a couple. Some things have been changed around a little bit, but should we get rolling on kind of letting everybody know how exciting it's been for us? We've had some good success, had some great racing, and I think everybody knows when you watch a Dirt Crown race, you're going to watch awesome racers, and it's going to be a hell of a race. And I'd like to start talking about that. So off-road. Yeah.
Off-Road Speedway. Let's pull up some happenings of the Off-Road Speedway. What a race! What a way to kick off the Sport Mod series. I mean, that in itself. Lightning Motorsports teaming up with ProWitz Exteriors this year and helping us get the Sport Mod Summer Series underway. I mean, that in itself is something that's pretty cool to say that we've been able to get that rolling this year. So pretty cool deal there. So yeah. Man, what do we have? 20, 24, 28 cars up at Norfolk and great racing and everything.
Yeah, Jerry and his crew do a good job. They give us a heck of a track to race on. I know he was smiling ear to ear at the end of the night because of the racing, that they had. That we broadcast that on Dirt Crown TV, and you can go back and watch that replay if you have the monthly pass, or you can buy just individually the replay pass. And that's good. You're getting some highlights there. No, they had that track really, really fast, but really racy, and the lines changed around that night. You got the Sport Mods, Scott.
Yeah,
I just want everybody to know.
Love race.
Look at this. So, Sport Mod's new to Dirt Crown this year, but obviously a perfect fit. There is the quality is there, the quantity of racers is there, and who shows up for our inaugural race. Now, this was technically a North Division race, so this is where the Fett brothers would be racing if they're chasing our points this year, which we're happy to say they are chasing our points. And look at the show that they put on here. This was the last, half a dozen laps or so. They swapped around, and if you leave it run for a little bit, you're going to see that they're going to get in some lap traffic, and neither one of them gives an inch. I don't know if Sparks flew right there in front of the grandstand. It might be the next lap or two, but Scott, what do you say about our first Sport Mod race ever?
It was great. To see the quality of cars that were there. You have the Fett brothers, Willie Kirk, a young up and coming driver, Rusty Montag, a guy from up in the Siouxland area that's been no stranger to a lot of racetracks up in what we're going to call our North Division. Devin Peterson, young driver from North Platte, Nebraska. Joseph Cooper was with us. You have Braden Ehlers with us, Shelby Alves. I mean, just the names kind of go on for first night. Jared Bomeister was with us. So some really good cars. The folks in Norfolk obviously got to see a really, really, really good race. You can see top and a bottom groove here. And it was definitely nothing that disappointed there. So Alec Fett came home with the win. Colby Fett come home in second. Willie Kirk in third. And Braden Ehlers fourth with Rusty Montag. Your top five. Also that night we did have the stock cars with us. So back to back, I guess. Crown Challenge winner Jeff Ware in the 83 car, Ryan Harris in that second spot. Cameron Wilkinson and a guy that we'll talk to a little bit, Jordan Grabowski, probably had the drive of the night. If we had hard charger points truly on how many cars he passed that night. Jordan definitely would have got hard charger. Jordan was up running second, third in that race, and got a flat tire on a restart. So had to tag the tail of the field and work his way back up to fourth. And then Mark Lighting, using a provisional this year, on the random. No, I'm sorry, Mark was not on the random draw. That was at Spencer that Mark took that. But Mark got fifth, and Joseph Cooper, he took the provisional that night, up 18 spots from a B feature to six. So a great field of stock cars again there. So it's just crazy the quality of cars that were there at Off-Road Speedway, and a great way to get things started off there before we went to Stewart the next week to Mike Van Genren's little Wednesday night home away from home, and what a great race that was there. Again, good car counts at Stewart. It's just great racing in general. There are 29 sport mods and 37 stock cars, and great racing at Stewart again.
That was our first taste of, somebody was saying that the heat races at Stewart that night reminded them of the Super Nationals heat races, or Super Nationals quality, because in a heat race of 8 cars, there would be 5 guys in there that have made the Super Nationals A mains before, past winners, all lumped into just heat races. So the quality was excellent. And Mike had the track pretty darn good and racy. Jesse Sabine, he got the lead, and he started on the pole, so he had a great draw, and he did have a really good line going. He didn't necessarily run away with it, but he had a great race. He was set up, but so many guys behind him. I bet second through 10th, you could have thrown a couple blankets over him for most of the night before Caden Carter kind of jumped out and got second there. Dallin Murdy come up to get third, but a great race throughout the whole night. I mean, we're not just saying it to say it. It truly was great racing throughout that whole night. That feature.
Yeah, and again, besides the stock cars being there, sport mods were back in action again. A North Series race. Jake Sacco in the 14 car, he got one. Alec Fett jumped out again, big lead. You thought he was going to run away with that one, and Jake reeled them in, used some yellows to his advantage. Was able to pick up the win. Matt Avila was second, Alec Fett third, Logan Anderson, Taylor Kuhl got fifth, Devin Peterson sixth. The guy from Muscatine, Iowa, all the way over in Stewart with Shane Paris, Braden Carter, Cam Reimers, and Hunter Longnecker, your top 10 in that one. So pretty cool, pretty good 2 races to start the year off, and then Mother Nature kind of jumped in and threw a hamper and what was going on. We missed Interstate. We missed Clay County. Then we got to race again, and we went back, say, west, and we kicked off the south for the sport mods.
Yeah. We headed out to Dawson County, Lexington, Nebraska's racetrack out there, and had a great opening night with them. 31 sport mods checked in for the first South race. Brandon Spanger, last year's track points champion there. He got a lucky draw too. He started on the front, but he was on fire that night, let's be honest. And it was a great racetrack too. We got to thank our friend Trent Chin for helping prepare the track that night. He did a great job, had a lot of compliments on there. But Brandon had a great race. I only got the top 3 in front of me, but Greg Metz and Blaine Walt rounded out the podium that night. Fantastic racers on the South Sport mods as well. So right now the Sport mods are kicking some butt, and we're loving it. So
down for the stock car crowd.
And then on to our stock cars for our opening West. No, excuse me. That's our second West race. And tell us about this one. This one didn't disappoint either.
No, this one just didn't disappoint either. Deemed the Governor's Cup. Something that we've had here for a couple years now at Dirt Crown, and the racetrack, just as you can see here, high, wide, and a lot of heavy hitters there. Troy Burkhart, you can see him running in the top 5, 6 right there from Hayes, Kansas. I think Troy came from like 7th or 8th in a heat race to win it. So he passed a lot of cars. Can't say that it wasn't racy. Casey Wilkin, we can watch him in the 35 car as this goes on. Casey started, I think, in the 14th spot, 13th or 14th spot, so row 7, and end up with the win. So something really cool to see a guy who I guess cut his teeth out that way before moving over into Iowa and now coming back per se home and picking up the win. Casey Woken, I don't even know what you say about that. That was a real emotional win for Casey. Really cool to see him. Really cool to see the fans get behind the racing out there, and that's something just in general. Going to Dawson County, Lexington, wow, something crazy. The fans are definitely behind that racing there. Casey Wilkin with the win. Jesse Sobbing up 10 spots in the feature to come home in that second spot. Tyler Barabo was your early race leader, gets third. Kyle Pfeiffer comes home in the 4th spot. Jed Williams, you can see him popping in and out of the picture here in the 77. Rounding out your top 5, Jordan Grabowski. He works the 30 car up into the 6th spot. So really all in all, a good first night for everybody on our crew as we took over the promotion role of Dawson County on a weekly basis. And we say weekly, but it's 5 nights this year. 1 night under our belt. Great folks out there. Can't thank everybody enough who's stepped up and helped support that place and put in time and effort. And it's really fun to go out there and see what racing can be out in the West.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a challenge for us, but I think it's because there's great people out there, Scott, that I think we got a chance to be pretty successful out there, and with the support of these great racers too. And I'd say maybe after we get some interviews in tonight, we go over some of the things, big things coming up at Lexington. So maybe we kind of wrap up. So if anybody's on from the Dawson County area, we'll get to some pretty cool announcements here coming up too, probably.
Yeah, so that's cool. You just see how Casey took advantage of Tyler Barabo with a bobble and took advantage of it and never looked back. It's kind of a crazy thing to see. A lot of guys at Lexington, they all talk about how big and fast it is, but a lot of guys really complimented on how big and fast that racetrack was. So something pretty cool, and we look to continue that here in the next coming weeks. So yeah, that wraps up Dawson County. So we did that on May 5th, and then from there, you made the trip over to Clay County. To the Clay County Speedway and Trent Chin's racetrack for a Tuesday night little 2000 in the Wind show.
Fun trip out to Spencer. We know Trent does a great job out there, great facilities. He has the track just prepped perfect. He had tried to get that race in 2 separate weeks prior. He even tried a 2-night show, but rain, and as we'll talk probably later, rain continuously has been his enemy this year. But we did get a great night in out there. We had 47 of the best stock car drivers around that showed up that night, and it wasn't just Iowa guys. There was guys from multiple states. I know Shelby Williams from Texas came up. And we could probably go through many more that were up there. Once again, kind of the same feel from Stewart a couple weeks prior, that the quality of racers up there rivaled what a Super Nationals field might look like. There was a lot of really good cars and a lot of good guys that support us, Scott, that didn't make the show just because the level. We can only take so many to the A, but that's kind of what you get at Spencer. You get great racing and great quality. So that went really well. Dylan Thornton picked up his first Dirt Crown Neon Light. He was pretty excited when he got back to the trailer. He said he's been waiting for that one for a long time, and he has a special place for that. So we'll have to check in with him someday and see where he mounted that. Kelly Shyrock worked really hard and to hold on to second. Kelly's always going to be working his way up, and Dallin Murdy was coming all night long too, and he wrapped up the podium. Sport mods real quick. Had some new blood in there this year, but we had 28 from the North Division. Maybe you want to go through the top 10, but Matthew Loof got the win. Obviously, one of our best sport mod racers, but followed up with some pretty good ones with Cam Reimers, led for a while. Colby Fett was coming pretty hard about halfway through. So, but lots of great racers out there. Again, I don't know what to say about our sport mod class in the North and the South, Scott. Where are you going to find better racers than are racing with us right now?
Yeah, it's been supported really well. Just early here, couple shows under our belts with the sport mods, and excited to see as that deal grows there. To keep things rolling here. After Clay County, that was a Tuesday. On Friday, went up to the Boone County Raceway in Albion, Nebraska. Fastest track in Northeast Nebraska is how they call that track. Delmer and the Crones and everybody up there always do a fantastic job. A little slip up with the racetrack. The wind was terrible up there. Heat races, the track, it wasn't perfect, but you can't say it wasn't racy because there were guys that passed, 6-7 cars in the heat race. So definitely something that was there that was cool. 31 sport mods checked in up there. So 31 sport mods at Boone County Raceway. I think the week before for a weekly night they had 18, 19. So it was really cool to see a full field up there. Flipping around here, looks like. Robbie Tom ended up with the win. Started in the 11th spot. Devin Peterson comes home second. Willie Kirk again. He led a lot of that race. A young driver. We keep talking about Willie. He's going to be a winner with us. We know that. Willie Kirk in the 86 machine always has been top 5, top 6 in a lot of our races early on. So definitely keep our eyes on the 86 of Willie Kirk. David Johnson, just a local from Columbus, Nebraska, runs really, really good every time he gets out with us. Runs in the 4th spot. Justin Swoboda, Cameron Meyer, the 21 car. He was the feature winner last week at Boone County and came home 6th. Chris Burke from Altoona, Iowa, was over with us. Chris ran in the 7th spot. James Roebuck, Brandon Spanger. Spanger was your points leader going into the night. And then Sean Kelly, another guy from Albion there, rounding out the top 10. So 31 cars again. Something really cool to see with the sport mods growing there. So that was our last Dirt Crown show up until this point. So that's cool. It's kind of just a real brief recap. We got more stuff coming up here, and we can talk about that. I think we change gears here just a second, Rob, unless you have something you want to say real quick.
Nope, we're good.
All righty. I think we bring Jordan Grabowski on here. Jordan, welcome to the show. It's kind of interesting to have you. We're going to put a different hat on you, so let's just talk about some of the stuff you got going on. Unfortunately, you don't have a helmet on your head right now, and you're not racing.
Yeah, got a night off from Clay County, but hopefully the weather holds out for tomorrow and we can get that show in. So,
and you had a good run last night in the stock car. Came from 10th to win the heat race.
It had as good as we could do in the race, but have a really tough feature. So, I know I start behind Kelly and really, really fast. I think Larson's in there. There's a lot of really good cars in our feature. So, I think we're gonna have our work cut out, but going to put ourselves in a good. Both mod and stock car were fast. Hopefully, we can tweak on it a little bit and make it fast. So,
Jordan, we bring you on here tonight, and we've had you on many times as past champion, feature winner. You and Josh goofing off, calling the shop, showing off that you guys have 29 cars you're working on for everybody in the area and in the country. You've been a supporter of ours from the get-go, and you've kind of put on a different hat the last few months and put something together that's really cool, that I think a lot of people need to know about, and I know it's near and dear to you. It's near and dear to our hearts as well.
Yeah, he was a big supporter of you guys too. Fortunately, sorry, Rob. Maybe it's me here. Is it better, or should I check?
I think you're okay.
Okay.
We're picking up part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Part of-
good.
I can move too. But long story short, I think about a month ago, we turned my phone up. Is this better?
There you go.
Okay.
That's really good, Jordan.
So, okay. Olivia had to come in and correct me. She must be watching in her other room. So, anyways, I don't want to be shaky here, but Joey Herget, a really good sponsor. If you're from or around the Beatrice area, he sponsored a lot of race cars and was a really good friend and really close to a lot of people around here. So he unfortunately passed away in a motor vehicle accident approximately a month ago, I want to say, or it might have been a little over a month ago. And we've been working on having a memorial race, and we had it scheduled for Beatrice's opening night. Unfortunately, we've been getting a ton of rain. But honestly, it probably was for the best. We've gotten more sponsors since then for Beatrice Speedway and the Herget Memorial. And obviously, we're brought Dirt Crown Stock Cars and Dirt Crown Sport Mods together. And we're going to have a really special night on July 14th. And been sending the flyer and getting this deal geared up here. Me and Lance Borgman and Tommy Denton and everybody from Beatrice Speedway have been working really hard to make this deal happen, and I think it's gonna be awesome. Got one of the best sport mod stock car purses, Dirt Crown one night shows. I think purse on both sides of it, stock car and sport mods, are unbelievable. We're going to throw the modifieds in. I think it pays around $1,000 to win the modifieds. Hobby stocks pay $500, and I think the sport compacts pay $175 or something. And what's cool about it is the more sponsors we get, the purse and everything and all the giveaways, it's all going to go higher and higher yet. So we got tons of giveaways from VP Race Fuels, from Justin Bull to VP Heartland to Ben Nabati gave 5 buckets of Schaefer's grease away to Jet gave some tires and Bill. I mean, so many people. I've got a list, and we're going to post it on Facebook and thank everybody that's truly a big part of this. But it's going to be pretty special. I was kind of made me feel good last night. I gave Murdy's a flyer, and I think we're going to get to see a lot of really good race cars show up to Beatrice Speedway on a one-night deal. Sunday, July 14th.
Yeah, so it's Sunday, July 14th. You mentioned it's got a pretty good purse, Jordan. Let's just talk about the purse a little bit here. So stock cars, $3,024 to start, $2,000 for second, $1,000 for third, $900, $800, $700 for sixth spot, $224 to start the show that night. While the sport mods will pay $2,024 to the winner, $1,024 for second. While paying $200 to start that show. You mentioned the modifieds, $1,024 to win that one, $750, $500, $400, $350. It's going to pay $100 to start for the modifieds, and the hobby stocks, $524, $400, $300, $200. So looking at that, your fourth place is what some of these guys are racing for on a weekly night. So let's pack the pit area. Let's have a really good show there, Jordan. I think what you and your crew are doing there is going to be something that is going to put a lot of race cars on the racetrack hopefully that night.
Yeah, and what's cool is we got tons of giveaways. It kind of reminds me of back when Jet used to put the State Fair race on, all the giveaways and all the stuff, and you guys do it the same. But we got a ton of stuff. The trophies are awesome. We're planning on really working hard on a Sunday night, having a good racetrack, being able to prep the track, and we're going into fine details like that. So really excited about it. It means a lot to me. Joey meant a lot to me. He was not only a great sponsor, but just a really good friend of ours too. So went to a lot of races with me and Lance Borgman and all. I mean, he had so many friends, but we're excited about it. We've got shirts already made. We've got it's gonna be really special. So we might have some really cool racers show up and race it. And we'll probably get to that in a little bit, I would say. But I think I got Ricky talked into coming and driving a car because they're at Wheatland on a Saturday night, and then they race Eagle on Monday night. So I think we're going to snag him on Sunday night to get him in a stock car for the show too. So that'll be really cool. So hopefully it'll be a night to remember at Beatrice Speedway. So Beatrice Speedway means a lot to me. Joey means a lot to me. Dirt Crown, IMCA TV is going to be broadcasting it live. There's so many cool things that's going to happen, and really excited about it. That race will be hopefully one of the coolest races that we have all year. So.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to, Rob. It's going to be cool to get back to Beatrice Speedway.
Well, Jordan, you're doing such a great job. I know you put your heart into Beatrice Speedway forever, but I mean, this is really showing that. So everybody from around the southeast part of the state needs to thank you for all that you're going to do for racing with this. I think this is going to go over so good. I'd like to see this go every single year. Joey Herget was a good friend of mine. His family are great people over here. Do a lot of things with them. They really are involved with a lot of things. So it's good that you're doing this in his memory. And thank you for letting us be a part of it. Hopefully we can just keep this thing going. We have a great showing this year. Hopefully Dirt Crown can help bring you even more cars to make it a big night for you and Beatrice and for the family. And then we could do it every single year. Just a little housekeeping, so we got Dirt Crown on that. Let's just talk about that real quick. The Dirt Crown stock cars, that race did not happen at the Spring Nationals in March. So this is going to be the makeup date for this. So this is kind of our announcement here. And Scott and I have been waiting for this, and we're going to be posting about this race and a couple other schedule changes coming up. So the Dirt Crown stock cars from Spring Nationals will be moved to July 14th, Sunday, and that will be a Dirt Crown West race. And then the sport mods were originally going to run with the USMTS mods at Beatrice on, June 20, it's a Wednesday. I had it June 19th, I believe. Yeah, June 19th. Sport mods will still be the support class for the USMTS cars that night, but we are going to move the points night to this night as well, July 14th. So just so our sport mod guys start to get to know that on their schedule as well. So once again, Jordan, awesome. Great work. And anytime you want to help us on this end of it, we want you racing, but anytime you want to help on the promoting side of it, Scott, I think we can make room for him, couldn't we?
I think Jordan definitely has a promoter hat to wear a little bit later on in life here.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to quit racing yet. One race, I'll do this for Joey, and I'm going to keep racing. But it's kind of, it definitely makes you, every time somebody gets on and badmouths the racetrack or criticizes people, it definitely makes people don't see all the work on this side of it that it takes. You know what I mean? So maybe you appreciate it a little bit more. But it's a lot. A lot goes into just finding a date was a head scratcher. I mean, we sat down at a fair board meeting, me and Lance Borgman and Kyle and Tommy and Lisa and Matt and everybody from Beatrice Speedway and you guys, just sat down to just come up with a date was a project. You know what I mean? Because you just don't want to race over anybody, and you don't want to. Just so much that goes into it. But just happy to be a part of it. We're doing this for Audra and the whole family. Joey's family, they all love racing too. So I hope it's a really special night, and really excited to be a part of it.
So we kind of joke. You're not at Spencer tonight. You had to go home and actually work for a living again. Hopefully get back up there tomorrow. The weather holds off here. It looks like they got a 2:45 start time tomorrow. Is what the plan is. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what it says on. I haven't heard anything different than that. But we'll leave in the morning and get back up there and hopefully get the races in. That'd be huge.
So going up there for a chance at $25,000 to win in the stock car. You have the mod up there too. I think you won the heat race in the mod last night too, didn't you?
Yep. Won both heat races, which was good. Good start, you know what I mean? And especially the stock car with how they're doing the combined points, the heat races are huge and big points in a heat race. So just it's one thing to take that deal, let alone try to win it. So but me and Ricky's stock cars were both fast, and we've been tuning on them, and Zane's been helping us. We got a lot of good things in place, and hopefully we can get a good result out of it.
What's funny is I talked to you earlier in the week, and you were talking about the car you drove at Beatrice was a rocket ship, which is the one that Ricky's in now, and how to make your car better. And it looks like you learned something on that car, and your car's as good, if not better now.
I don't know about that, but we we did a little maintenance on it and have been fine tuning it. It's been definitely getting better. So I knew I was screwing up giving Ricky the faster car right off the bat. He's way better driver than me. So why would you give the hottest dirt racer in the country the faster car? I have no clue, but he ran good in his heat race, and I think we can make a few little adjustments on his car and make him even better. So it's cool working with him. Kid's talented as heck, and really really darn smart also when it comes to a dirt car.
Yeah, definitely. And I haven't seen him jump on with us yet here. We're going to try to get some time with him. I know he's busy over there and everything he's got going on, but trying to plan everything and jump from a micro to your stock car to get ready for the show me and everything like that. But dude, you raced Ricky before Ricky was Ricky Thornton in a modified back in the day, and you guys had some great battles.
No, that he kicked my butt a lot. I think I've ran 100 times, and a lot of them was at big paying races. But I can only remember a couple times that I've actually snookered him and beat him. But no, he's when you ran second to him 10 years ago, you're like, man, what do I need to do to get better? And then he goes out and having a Hall of Fame another year, but Scott Purvis has still never heard of him, so I don't get that. But we were joking around about that a couple days ago. But it proves that it proves that he can wheel anything when he gets in a mini sprint or a stock car or a modified, or it doesn't matter. Kid's talented and it's going to be successful. So that's why he's doing it for a living, and I have a normal job. So
definitely. And so super cool, Jordan. We're not going to keep you much longer here tonight. We appreciate everything you're doing, and I know you got some flyers you're passing out over there, and hopefully the guys are taking note of that 100+ stock cars over there. So those guys are taking note of that. And in Sport Month, I think there's 100+ of those over there in Spencer as well. So good to get you on here for a few minutes. Great to see you putting on a different hat and getting behind the Beatrice Speedway and really pushing the Jody Hergon Memorial.
Well, thanks for you guys being a part of it, and hopefully every year we can make it bigger and better. That's my goal, is to see what we can do with the for the future side of things. So I'll try to get a hold of Ricky and see if he can jump on your guys' podcast. And I don't know, he's probably driving my he's probably driving my crew guys around is probably what he's doing, because he's there. I'm sure Raynaud's are never good for their livers, so you never know what they're doing.
Yeah, and what stinks is you guys got rained out early last night, and so I'm sure by now everybody's going stir crazy. If there was something to work on or look at, they've done it, and so they're experimenting and researching the area.
I'm sure Josh completely making sure they all behave.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Right. But I hope they're having fun. They've worked their butts off to bring, with Reed's cars, we brought 6 cars to the track. So they've worked their butts off here for the last week. So they deserve a little bit of playtime if we're going to get a rain out. So anyways, I appreciate you guys having me on here, and I'll see what I can get done getting Ricky.
Sounds great, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
So Jordan Grabowski, putting on a new hat, Rob. Like you, putting on a KC hat, putting on a new hat. Yeah,
Jordan's going to be great in this role. He is. He treats people the right way. Just like when he races, he's going to do a good job because he's going to put 1,000% into it. He'll work really hard at it, but he's going to treat people right. And that's probably the best trait that a promoter can have is work hard, but treat everybody right, and it'll come back. So he's going to make this race what it is. There's a lot of good people helping out, but he's really taken this on his shoulders to make it a good deal. So glad that we're a part of that, and it kind of worked out because we didn't want to lose the date at Beatrice for our stock cars, and now we're going to be able to do that. And then moving the sport mods 1 month, I don't think hurts anything. and it gives them an opportunity to race for over twice as much money on a really cool night as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. We can talk about eventually talk about that run, because we got a few races up north, the next few nights after that. So if you're listening and you're a race fan, or you're a driver, if you're from the South, if you're coming through, you could have so many nights in a row in the middle of July on a whole different run. Not talking about, an Iowa tour or nothing like that, but we're going to be up in Minnesota for 2 nights after Beatrice, and then wrap it up at Huset's on a Wednesday night. So Beatrice to Huset's could be a heck of a run. If you like racing, there's going to be a lot of it that part of the year too.
Yeah, so let's talk about, before we go up north, let's talk about a little trip that we're going to take south.
Great.
Let's bring on promoters from Wakeeney Speedway, BJ Wagner, and let's welcome in here Jason McIntyre from Thomas County as well.
Hi, guys.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing
Glad
good.
you made it. So these two dudes, I remember getting to know them over the winter a little bit, and the crazy idea, what if we brought dirt crown stock cars down to northwest Kansas, depending on how you look at it. And from what I've heard about these guys and how they do their racetrack, Scott, it was a no-brainer to work with these guys. So I just got to tell everybody, some of the best track prep and best racing happens at Colby, at Thomas County, and at Wakeeney, and it's because of these two guys right here. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
It's mostly because of BJ and what he's taught me. So he makes sure I'm on top of it.
Yeah, you guys.
It's super.
You guys have got a great deal going. Let's talk about it. So let's start Wakeeney with BJ. You've had a couple nights where Mother Nature. Is it 3 nights now that you've missed because of it? Have you even had a race yet at Wakeeney?
Yeah, we did. We started. We had a 2-day to open our season in April. The first day was cold. Got the show in. Racing was pretty good. Show was over in, 2 hours and 45 minutes or something. It clicked off well. The next night, also cold. We ended up canceling it. It ended up snowing half the afternoon, and didn't get that one in. So then we, like Jordan was saying, trying to find dates for races in once you're into the season is really difficult. So we rescheduled for Sunday of this last weekend, and rained all day again Sunday. So we didn't end up running that one either. So currently we've got 1 night in. Still kind of learning the dirt there a little bit, but we've tried to kind of fill some of the cup in on Wakeeney and get it. It wasn't not racy our first race. I haven't had nothing but great comments about it. It's just from the promoter's side, I don't think I'm ever going to be 100% happy with a racetrack that I produce. So I think you kind of got to be that way to, to be good at it, I guess. So if you're happy with it and there's no room for improvement, I don't know that you'll ever get it better. So I'm going to try to get it better as we go. And I had it looking really good this week and ended up losing it to rain. So.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about. I did a little research, and I've heard of your name and how you prep tracks through the years. So, and I know you guys work really hard, and so it's a no-brainer to come down and work with you guys. Jason, how's your season started? Are you just getting going as well?
We had a race May 10th with the dirt car late models and the URSS 305 sprint cars. And it went well, kind of down on the numbers on sprint cars. Late models, we had 18, and then we had the hobby stocks and the sport compacts with them. It went really well. Took a little longer than what we liked. We were down about 11:20, 11:30. And then on that Saturday, May 11th, we had a vintage night with the Gatra guys from Nebraska and the KR vintage guys. And then we had a couple cruisers, and the dwarf cars out of Colorado, Nebraska showed up. Then we had 16 of those, and they were pretty fun to watch. So it wasn't too bad.
What do you guys typically run? What's your weekly classes going to be? Do you have about the same weekly classes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm similar to you at Dawson County. I don't really run don't really run a weekly type schedule at Wakeeney. Wakeeney was not closed, but ran, 1 or 2 nights for the last several years. And so when I took it over this year, my goal was never to run 8 or 9 nights. So I'm kind of like you guys at Lex, where I just run. I've got five races basically, and one of those is nothing but late model sprint cars, and then the other nights are 5 IMCA classes. So
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the 5 IMCA classes here the rest of the season. Of course, you guys come down June 7th. We're going to have the sport mods, modifieds, and then stock cars. So since I've had the hobby stocks and sport compacts the first night, then this will make 8 nights everyone gets here. So we're mixing it up a little bit. So,
Both of you have really good support. You're typically both Friday night tracks. Is that correct? Or Jason, or you're racing kind of all over the place with your schedule this year?
I race wherever I can race.
Or BJ.
I'm Friday nights again.
You're
So
Friday.
I'd like to get a 2-day show in here and there, but between Hayes and Goodland and Dodge City, it's kind of hard to find a day, like BJ said. So pretty much just stick with Fridays, because Salina races on Fridays, but they're 200 miles down interstate, so it don't hurt me very bad.
Yeah. I'm in a unique position there, because when I called IMCA about sanctioning, they said, "What night?" And I said, "Yes." I don't know that I'm scared to run any night. I got a couple Thursdays, I got a couple Fridays, and I would have had 2 Saturdays, minus the rain out. So I'm not afraid to try anything really. That either it's going to work or it's not. It's just you can't fail too many times in this business without being in trouble. But yeah, I'm not scared to race about any night of the week if it makes sense. So
for our guys, it was important for us to try to branch out into Kansas and get some of these tracks to be part of our dirt con tour. We have some support from guys down your guys' way, but obviously a lot of people from up here, they're going to be first time runners at both Wakeeney and at Thomas County. So if you guys want to talk a little bit about, size of the racetrack, what to expect, I think obviously we're going to see good side-by-side racing of both of them. But, is there certain gear rate that we need to look at? Is there, are we going to have big curbs? I don't think we're going to, either one of your racetracks are going to get rough by the talk of things.
Colby, usually a 620 to 633 gear for a stock car. You can get in the infield anywhere around, except for in 3 and 4, there's a pond, like a drainage pond they have in case we get a lot of rain. That'll drain out that way. But a 620, 633 will get you around this place. It's BJ, when he had that racetrack, he kept this thing smooth. It's still smooth. It's rock hard. Hardly any dust. He's taught me how to prep this. He still comes out and runs the blade for me, and he taught me last night how to run the blade. So I can't wait to get on that by myself and try it out alone. So, but I mean, this racetrack, BJ kept it rock hard. It's still hard. It's got a great surface under it, and I just can't wait to get some good stock cars on this thing and just see what they think of it.
Yeah, and as far as Wakeeney goes, gearing. After our first night, and then after Lex, talking to people, everybody says speed-wise they're pretty similar. Wakeeney's not as big as Lex, but it carries more speed. So, gear-wise for a stock car, you're probably a 583 to a 60. I prep a racetrack basically the same every time, or try to. They're usually pretty hard. I very rarely have any kind of character in a track. I want a track to get smooth and wide and slick and have a good bottom and a good top. And we both have the tools to do that. We have ways to open up the track and get water into it if we need to, and we have ways to pack. And there's several things we can do throughout the night to make the racing better, just like most of these facilities have now. And we can turn them around pretty quick. So if we get in a situation where it isn't super racy in a heat race or whatever. It doesn't take but about 10 to 15 minutes to make a line somewhere else on the racetrack. So yeah, like gear wise, 583 to 60. I expect both places to be racy. We've put on some really good shows at Colby in the past, and I don't expect that to not continue. So
Yeah, so let's talk about this for just a little bit. So June 6th, it's a Thursday night. We'll go to Wakeeney. And then June 7th, the very next night, to Thomas County. Both nights will pay $2,000 to win and $250 to start. For the stock cars, your modifieds are going to pay $1,000 to win, and sport mods are going to pay $750 to win. For the stock car Crown Summer Series Showdown, great folks at Augie's Repair and Towing jumped on board to support this deal. So can't thank those guys enough. Your guys' hard work down there is definitely not going to go without great appreciation and gratitude to put this deal together. I know I'm excited to go down there, Rob. How about you?
I've been looking forward to this one a long time. Just like I told you when I started talking to these two gentlemen this winter, and I was just thinking, if we were to do a job interview or a racetrack interview, and we got to talk to promoters, what do we want to hear of how they're going to support the races and how are they going to do their track? Don't you think they'd probably both get an A for those answers? I'm pretty confident in these guys. And that's what we want. We're going to help try to bring you some good race cars. And obviously there's some great racers from your area. We're going to mix them together, and you guys are going to have great surface to race on. So I'm excited to be there. And I know I've answered a lot of questions from guys about these guys and their tracks. So hopefully we can bring them a nice amount of quality cars and just have some great racing. We want them to be successful. So we're hoping that they can pack their stands and everything else so that they can feel good about this when it's all done.
It's super cool to have, and you guys probably hear this, both Jason and BJ, but we had drivers last year. I wouldn't say they were begging to go your guys' way, but they were bragging on how well the racetracks were down there and how well they raced every night that they raced there. So it's cool to have drivers that speak highly of you guys like that, and able for us to get that put together and be able to come down there and race with you guys.
I know it's a long haul for a lot of those guys up north, but I mean, BG and I, we've been told we do really good with hospitality and stuff like that. And I mean, he's got a hotel or a couple of hotels that are helping out with rooms, stuff like that. And I'm going to try to jump out and get a couple of those here in town as well. So, I mean, just anything to help the drivers get down here, anything to help them out, get them down here, let them see these racetracks, what they're about. And BG's racetrack at Wakeeney, it gets wide. It's great racing there. And it always has been. I think BG is going to make it a lot better. And I want to see these guys fly around both these racetracks.
Yeah, as Jason mentioned, the Best Western there in Wakeeney and the Prairie Rose Inn, there's posts on my Facebook page about both of them down a little ways, and I'll re-share those this week. And they both offer rates for racers, so guys are coming in looking for a place to stay. Those are both good options. Colby's an hour down the road from Wakeeney. Plenty of time the next day to get there, work on your stuff. I'm excited for it. It's, I reached out to probably 55 stock car drivers yesterday just to invite them down and to come race with us, shared our flyer, what we're going to pay. You guys kind of touched on the purse a little bit. I'm kind of putting the final details on it kind of as we speak. I was working on it as you guys were on the show a little earlier, but it pays back to like 8th place, like $400, or 9th place, maybe it's $400. So the purse doesn't just fall on its face. You're not racing for $2,000 to win and $500 for second. Second pays $1,250, and it pays back through the field good, and start money doesn't start until about 16th place. So it's a good purse. It's I know it's a tow for a lot of your regulars, but I don't think they're going to be disappointed in what they get when they come down.
Yeah, I think they're going to be when they get on this racetrack, I think they're going to be really, really glad that they came down when they get on Wakeeney and Colby, because they're both, like BJ said, his track carries a lot of speed, and it's fun to watch them cars fly around that track. Colby has some speed to it, but I mean, Wakeeney's got a lot more momentum. So I miss racing on that track. It was always fun.
Well, hopefully we can bring you a great group of guys from up north in the stock car class. Obviously, you're paying great money in the other classes as well. So we'll use our site to help push those as well. And anybody can come, obviously. And we can't wait to enjoy your hospitality down there. I think it's going to be great, and we'll get some Western Nebraska guys. I know, like you said, BJ, you were in Lexington and passing out flyers and talking to guys, and Scott and I will mention that again to the guys this Sunday for our race out there. So it'd be nice to have a great crowd for you, a great car count. So I don't know. Let's hopefully, just like Jordan was talking about his memorial race that he's helping put on. Let's do a great job this year, and you guys feel good about this, so we can kind of make it an annual deal. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes, I think it would be too.
BJ wasn't only at Lexington. BJ was at the Winter Swap Meet back in January with us too.
Yeah, actually, Jason and my wife and I all made the trip up there, which it was like negative 15 or something.
4:30 in the morning, 5-hour road trip.
It was like crazy cold outside. I don't know if I'd sign.
You guys didn't realize going that far north was that cold, huh?
Well, we were supposed to come up the night before, but BG had a crisis come up, so.
Yeah, I've been all over this country at racetracks, and I don't think I've ever went to anything racing oriented when it was negative 15. So.
That's funny.
But
That's
hopefully we can get a lot of good cars down here and get the guys from up north down here, and I'm gonna work on some hotel stuff. So we got just over 2 weeks, man. I can't wait.
We got a comment right now. Dean Kester from Rooks County Fairgrounds there in Stockton. He says that you got to have great racetracks at Wakeeney and Colby, and it'll be a lot of fun racing. Dean's a great promoter for all of you guys, and he's always trying to push to have the racing be great in Kansas. You know, that we'll be getting there down in August. We'll be bringing our stock cars down there, and he's trying hard with paying some good sport mod and mod money as well at his fair races. So all of you guys are great guys to be around, and it's cool to see Pat Bedore jumping on here. That he's always at both of your tracks. So great people. And Scott, that's what this whole thing is about for us. We're not going to mess around with people that aren't, doing it the right way and treating everybody the right way. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I don't know what to say, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll bring some of those cool light up trophies that are behind me down there, and hopefully some people get to see that and get pretty excited about it.
You got more of those hoodies? I've worn my hoodie around town, and people ask me where I get it from. So they want to know if you're going to bring any apparel down.
Scott,
so I guess dirtshirtsusa.com is where we're landing our apparel right now. I haven't talked with Joey yet to see if he's making that trip down there with us or not. I know he's been at a lot more racetracks this year than we plan on him being, but all of our apparel is always available online at Dirt Shirts USA. But we have some new stuff. We had new stock car shirts just dropped. We had a new sport mod shirt that just dropped. So constantly adding, and I think you're talking about the red and white black polos or poly hoodies. Is that what you're talking about, Jason? Yeah, yes, last sir. I knew we were sold out on that one. And I know he was working on getting a reorder done on those. So Dirt Shirts USA, man, is always the place. 24/7 you can get stuff. And if at all possible, he will be down there with us. And if not, I'm sure he'll give us a promo code that we can use to get those guys free shipping to get some apparel down your way as well. So gotta love Dirt Shirts USA for all the stuff they've done and your guys' support. It's cool to see you guys jumping in and getting that stuff and wearing it proudly.
Yeah, I just like to support the guys that want to come race here. So I want to make this to where it's gonna survive. We can keep doing this, work together. So
yeah, one thing that neither one of our tracks have ever really gotten is a lot of exposure on streaming. So, if you're looking to see what Colby has to offer, I know Troy Burkhart's wife, Burkhart Racing on YouTube, she's always posting videos and stuff. Go check out some of the racing from Colby on her page, because it really is fun to watch. It's usually solid 3-4 lanes, and it puts on a really good show. Colby's unique in just how productive it is as far as the racing goes. And I think Wakeeney is going to be the same way once I just kind of get it dialed in. And our first weekend was good. I've made a few changes since then, and I think it'll be even better for this show. So we're excited to have you. When you reached out to me this winter and asked me about doing this, I was excited from the get-go. And we should have a good car count. If I can get half the guys that I messaged to show up, and plus the guys that are local to us every week, should have a great show.
Can be a blast, guys. And speaking of streaming, so let's just announce that right now. Dirt Crown TV is going to be at both of your tracks on that Thursday and Friday. If you cannot make it out to the tracks, obviously we want to fill your stands, but for any family or anybody that's from racers from a long ways away, you can still watch your favorite drivers those nights. We'll be down there with our crew, and so that'll be a good time. So excited about the whole thing. Scott, what about you?
I'm super excited. I can honestly say that Colby and Wakeeney are places I've always heard good things about, but I've never been there yet. So it's going to be exciting. Looks like we got a Beeline truck. We'll add a tire to hard charger for both tracks. That's pretty cool. Don't know if you guys knew that was coming.
That guy, he's a big backer to the racing community. He's always at the races, and he sponsors some cars, and he likes seeing some great racing, and he knows we can have that out here. So thank you, Chad, very much.
Super cool. Like I said, I don't know if you guys knew that was coming, but that's super cool to see that coming right there. Chad, we thank you on behalf of DirtCon for sure for jumping in with the support here.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. I appreciate that. We also, for Wakeeney, I do have $100 to whoever the longest tow is that night as well. And then I'm working on something else to help out with some tow money for some guys that are traveling from a distance as well.
You guys are awesome. I mean, this is something above and beyond from your promoters.
Whatever BG wants to do, I'll do it also for my racetrack to get you guys down here. So, because we want you guys to come. So, whatever we can do to help get you guys down here. So, I want the guys to come enjoy these two racetracks that I think will be one heck of a show and a couple good nights of racing for everyone to see, because it's going to be fast, 2, 3 wide, 4 wide sometimes. I mean, our locals, sometimes they put a car place you don't think they can fit, and it happens. And, I mean, it's just crazy. Just being a promoter, watching them from the infield, it's like, how is he going to make that work? And they do it. And it's just like, it's kind of jaw-dropping. So we get them some good guys from North, like you said, with our locals here, and I think it could be an amazing show. I think it could be awesome.
Definitely looking forward to that. Literally a little over 2 weeks away, June 6th and 7th. We'll make a 2-day swing down there, Wakeeney Speedway in Thomas County. BJ and Jason, we'll let you guys get back to your evening. We can't thank you guys enough for jumping on here real quick. And I know there's a lot of information yet to come out from both your racetracks, and we'll make sure that we're on top of it as best we can be, and we're letting our racers know all the great stuff that's happening down there as we're all excited to come down to Kansas and really watch the Kansas guys defend their turf, because we know they can.
Cool. And
appreciate it, guys.
If anybody can, I do race this Friday night. If someone wants to come down and try the racetrack from up north, we race Friday night. Hot laps between 7:15 and 7:30. Races start at 8. All 5 IMCA classes. So if anyone wants to come down from north and try the track out and see what it's like, you're more than welcome to. So this Friday night. And we're on Central Time also for people out in Colorado. So I think it's kind of
that is something. Yeah, I guess we are there. Real quickly here. Guys, just re-mention here, what were the gear ratios? We had somebody just ask us what the gear ratios were for your tracks.
Yeah, so Wakeeney's a 583 to 6.0, and then Colby is a 620 or a 633. I've obviously ran both racetracks a lot, and Come here, baby girl. Sorry.
That's all right.
Great. Look at
That's what it's
that.
all about right there.
Yeah, so we always ran a 620 at Colby. It's crazy. We lowered the bank here 8 or 9 years ago, and it didn't slow the racetrack down. You can drive the car so deep at Colby. You really don't have to turn it until you're into the apex of the corner. So 620 gear is what I would recommend there. And then I know guys at Wakeeney both on 583s and 60s. So it's just going to kind of depend on how the racetrack is. But if it's slow and smooth like it normally is, I think a 60 will be fine.
Awesome. Again, thanks, guys. We look forward to coming down there and excited to see what we can do in Kansas with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you,
guys.
Yep. Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good evening. Wow, how exciting is that, Rob, going to Wakeeney and Colby? Like BJ mentioned, Troy Burkhart, his wife does post some great videos from Colby. I've watched him on the last couple of months, just watching how good that place races, and it's top to bottom, 2-3 wide. So really excited for that trip.
Yeah, and you're right. You've said it a few times. People have said this a lot. Racers said last year, please come to Kansas. But if you're going to come to Kansas, there's a lot of good tracks. But if you want to go to the best prep tracks, the best race tracks, there a lot of them put Colby and Wakeeney now right at the top. And we heard that a lot. So I guess when we started this, we wanted to get to different racetracks and meet new people and give racers a chance to be on good racetracks. And I just have a feeling that this is going to add to the level of what we're trying to do with our series.
Yeah, for sure. It just expands our brain and where we're going. And we talk about the reach and getting to Kansas now is going to help us just grow what we're building here. And we talked about going to Kansas earlier. You briefly mentioned the July spread there, where we go up after Beatrice, we go Worthington, Slayton, and Huset's. So that's going to grow us the other direction then too.
Right. And Scott, well, not to leave out any of our other Kansas tracks, we got a lot of them. We got Beloit, and we got Osborne and Stockton and Belleville and Concordia. And I hope I'm not leaving anybody else out, but we'll make sure that we touch on those as we get closer to those races as well. So, when we put out our next podcast, it'll be a shorter distance in between the next one and the last one. So we'll have a lot of information for a lot of people. So keep paying attention to that. We're lucky. We just have a lot of things and a lot of good people and tracks to talk about and drivers. So it's hard to get it in one night. What's this say? I still want to see Rob. Oh, Sam, I don't know if we could do it, man. I don't know if I could get in and out of the car anymore, but I don't know. That might be a bad deal, Sam, if I came out of retirement. So,
We talking about coming out of retirement. Let's talk about Sunday night.
Yeah.
Legends of Lex. We go back to Lexington, Dawson County Raceway. I don't even know what to say about this. It's going to be something that is definitely going to be an interesting night. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't followed along on Dawson County Raceway, we're going to bring back 10 legends of Dawson County, and we're going to put them all in cars and let them have a little bit of fun. 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, as far as age here. So it's going to be really cool to see these guys jump back in the car there. Legends of Lex again. We talk about T-shirts and memorabilia. We got a lot of cool stuff going there. We've had some requests for posters. We got posters going to be autographing the first 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Rob's what we're going to plan on there for an hour to have those guys behind the grandstands with some posters. If you don't know, Terry McCarty, Denny Agee, Robbie Leonard, Rod Clough, Troy Olmstead, Dallas Toby, Dan Carl, Scott Blessing, Wendell Stevens, and Ken Eichhoff all will be back at Dawson County Raceway for the Legends of Lex night on Sunday night. So that's something that's going to be pretty exciting for sure.
Scott, let's just be honest with you. Everybody that's racing now, we cannot take for granted. And I think you and I are of the age that we were lucky. We got in on the tail end maybe of some of those names getting to race. But you can never take for granted. We would not have racing, racetracks, fans, and stuff if it wasn't for the foundation set by the guys that are going to be out there on Sunday night. Those 10 legends, and I know every racetrack has them, but we really need to, be serious about the fact that without them, we would never have had the opportunity to be here to do what we love to do. And all our great racers, it's because of guys that build it. It was built on the backs of the guys that are going to be racing that Sunday night out here in Lex. They're going to get in. They're going to get in stock cars and they're going to race. And we got some great people that are letting them borrow the cars. Scott, we're going to let them. We're going to have a little autograph session under the grandstand with some posters for an hour, and then at the end of the hot laps for the regular cars, we're going to have them getting in their cars, and they're going to go out for a few laps and get some good hot laps in, and then we'll run our regular program. At intermission, we're going to bring them out and we're going to introduce them to the crowd. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and what a good honor for them. They deserve that, to be in front of the crowd again, and we might have some awards for them. That means a lot to us that we honor them that way. And at the end of the night, after the last regular feature, they're going to be lined up, and it's going to be wild. And when you were going through their ages, you said 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't know all of their ages, but I talked to a 79-year-old in one of those 10 yesterday, and he's not coming to mess around. I think he's coming to win. So they're competitive. These guys, these are winners from in their time.
And what's crazy is I believe that you're referencing the 79-year-old who turns 80 on Monday. The
next day. So we'll have an 80-year-old, a few hours from 80 years old, and he's coming to win. So he hasn't lost his drive, so.
That's what's going to be so cool. So, yeah, great night at Lexington is this weekend. Long weekend here. A lot of racing going on in and around the area here. I'd love to have you out at Lexington, Dawson County Racer with us. It's going to be regular 4 IMCA classes. Stock cars paying $750 to win. Sport mod's paying $500 to win. Modified's paying $500 to win. And the hobby's paying $300 to win. So should be a lot of good racing out there. A lot of fun. What do we have? Over 100 cars the first week out there for Dirt Crowd Night, and had people on the road home by 9:30ish, somewhere like that.
9:30, and I think we both know we could have cut out a 20 plus minutes out of that show. We like to run a very fast and efficient show, but really high quality. With it being our first night, I guess it wasn't bad. Tell me a story about your first night as a promoter out there. What did you do? You weren't on the headset. Tell me something interesting that people want to know about what you did that night, because I got some interesting.
It was interesting. Really, one of the things it's kind of weird to not be on a headset, and that's where again we have great people around us, and we're able to put things in their hands, and we're able to walk away. We did everything from parking cars to make sure that we had the overflow pits going, and lining up the first heat races, and then chasing down different things with the draw. And it was probably my most favorite thing that I got to do for the features was climb up on the flag stand with Marty Lydell, and kind of cool. Not my first time on a flag stand with Marty Lydell, but my first time on a flag stand was with Marty Lydell back in the mid-Nebraska Speedway days. Marty Lydell and Scott Bennett were the flagmen, and my dad was a scorekeeper before transponders. He wrote all the cars by hand, and I don't even know how it happened, but one night I ended up on the flag stand with Marty helping him. So it was fun to get back up there with Marty. And this weekend, Scott Bennett, he's a racer from back in the day, also a flagman back in the day out there. Scott's going to climb up on the flag stand and be our flagman this weekend. So it'll be fun to have Scott Bennett back with us on the flag stand as well.
Well, I sure don't have as many cool things probably you were thinking, and what an awesome experience to be up there with Marty on the flag stand, and we've promoted races before, but we haven't did it all from start to finish, from the promotion up front and to the parking of the cars. I will say that everybody was awesome though. First night out, sometimes you don't get the stall you want, or sometimes you got to park over here. People were cool. Drivers were cool. At intermission or right before, we might have had a little excitement in the pits. So I gotta be involved with a little bit of that. But you know what? It's just people that are very competitive, and you maybe let the other guy know that, you want that spot too, and then you let it go, and then, you drop it. In the next race, you just respect each other on the track again. So I'm sure that'll happen. This isn't real fun, but my most memorable deal, besides taking tickets and helping here and there and setting up panels, I got to serve sloppy joes for a while. So I got the experience of being in the concession stand, and I guess sometimes you just got to pitch in to make it work. And but I think that we'll be better promoters if we're more well-rounded. Man, we're doing a little bit of everything that way.
Well, I'm plenty around, but I don't know if that helps anything, Rob.
Right. No, a lot of fun.
It's super cool, and the staff and everybody that we're surrounded with out there, and just from Chad Dolan to Dave Jewett and Troy Olmstead, those guys that know that place like the back of their hand, lending words of encouragement or hours of help or whatever it may be, to make sure that we're off on the right foot. We can't thank those guys enough. Trent Chin for coming out and helping with the track prep. Dallas and Amy Holbein, not only jumping on board as sponsors, working the fire and safety, working the ticket booth, but just being there for help with anything, whether it be a Monday afternoon or a Sunday night. Just the group of people that are out there is just amazing, and we can't thank everybody out there enough. It's unbelievable the support that we're getting out there, Rob.
Barb and Bobby and on and on and on. We could keep going. And Bryce and Betty came out. It was cool because we had a mix of Dirt Crown employees or help that we've had, and people from good people from out there, plus some new help. So yeah, let's just make the next 4 nights really, really good for our fans. After that Legends Night on Sunday, I know on June 9th, we're going to have the Malvern Bank 360s all the way out there. Putting a 360 on Lexington. I can't wait for people to feel that in the stands. It's going to set them back because those cars are going to rip. We've got some really good races on the 23rd coming up. I think we're going to have our weekly classes. We're going to add some 305s that night on the 23rd. I think also we invited the Crown Vics to come out. So if there's any Crown Vics in the area, they can run out on the 23rd.
That's something that's cool. I talked with Jamie Richards when I was up at Albion. Jamie put blood, sweat, and tears into the Crown Vic class, and Jamie says that his guys know about wanting to come out there, and thought he had a pretty good group of cars that were going to come out there, and pretty excited as that class grows. I think 10, 12 cars already at some of these tracks that they're at, and so that class is definitely off to a great start. Jumping back here a pace, you mentioned the Malvern Bank 360 cars. I think their first series night was actually last Saturday, the Off-Road Speedway. They had 30 cars. Now that was a dual MSTS Malvern Bank race, but 30 cars to start the year. That's something that's pretty cool, and hopefully we can get some good numbers of sprint cars out at Lex in that June 9th race. So that should be something really nice there.
Yep, lots of cool stuff. And then we'll wrap up the year in August for the back to school night. And we're going to have the High Plains, or I should say the dirt car late models now. That's kind of changed around. So it's got to get used to that. But man, that'll be fun watching them come in and turn some really good laps around there. If you weren't at Lexington or you did not watch Dirt Crown TV from May 5th, you missed something because the track was different, I'd say in a great way. A lot of compliments on it. It's different dirt out there. If you even call it dirt, it's different soil. There's sand in it. And as the heat comes in and the wind comes in this summer, it's going to be challenging. But Trent did a great job with it. I think a lot of people were impressed with the track. It was fast, but yet it was super racy in multiple lanes. So If you're a fan, or if you were out there, please tell your friends to come along next time. So we're gonna have great races this summer in Lexington.
Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff coming up in the end of May here, early June. Gets real busy, and then we get into July before wrapping things up at Lexington in the middle of July, and points for stock car stuff. Everybody's going for the illustrious Knoxville qualifier, and what do we got? We have 3 guys qualified. We have Dylan Thornton, Jesse Sobbing, and Jeff Ware. So 3 guys already punched in to Knoxville there. So that's something that's going to be pretty cool.
Yep.
And then we talked about that just a little bit ago today. Belleville is going to be a non-points race for us over July 3rd. Stock cars for 4,000 to win and 500 to start on the big track. So something that, the famed High Banks just put on a great show. Kaylee Bryson picked up the win in the USTEC Silver Crown cars. You were down there for the Friday preliminary night, Rob, and a great show at Belleville. And we're excited to get to Belleville, but that show, again, will be a Knoxville qualifier for anybody who comes down there on that night as well.
Yeah, and also that will be televised on Dirt Crown TV. Did you mention that's with the sprint cars? The Malvern Bank 360s will be with us with the stock cars that night. Find the rules on Belleville's Facebook page. They just posted them. I think you shared them today as well. Jumping way ahead, yes, I was down there on Friday night for their prelim night of the USAC show, and they had the midgets on the small track, and they had Silver Crown on the big track, and both tracks were prepared awesome and fast and everything. But in August, we're going to have our championship night for our stock cars and sport mods on the quarter mile down there. And I think that's one we're going to have to put some highlights out, because we ran 50 laps. The first 24 or 5, there wasn't even a caution. It was that great. And have you met a driver yet that hasn't come up to you and said that was the most fun they maybe have ever had in a race car?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys really, really enjoyed that. And that's interesting because that's a racetrack that kind of sat a little bit, didn't get a lot of use. Mike Van Genderen and those guys put in some work on that track back there when the XR was down there. And next thing you know, they have the SLMR late models on it, USMTS on it. Our sport mods went down there. Stock cars go down there, and it puts on a really, really, really good show. So, kind of an interesting deal, and something new that Belleville's going to have. I think they're going to have 2 racetracks that race really well. So, excited for that. Hi, Casey Woken. How are you? Casey's probably still smiling after picking up that win at Lex the other night, and man, that was something super cool to see. Love having you out there, Casey. Maybe you can make the Kansas swing with us too. I know it's a long ways from New Home in Iowa, but hopefully you're safe over there as the storms roll through as well. So love having you race with us, Casey.
We're pretty lucky. We got a lot of great racers that race with us in Lex or follow the series around, and I guess we just want to keep growing that and providing opportunities at any one of these tracks. And we'll sure highlight all of these tracks here coming up in the next few podcasts. So he's still waiting, or he's waiting for a Knoxville invite. Well, you know where to find him, man. You just keep racing with us, and you're going to get him. You're going to get one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've thrown a few racetracks out there that have the Knoxville invite. The next one that is scheduled is the Belleville race. We'll look at adding a few more. We're still working with the folks over there trying to get maybe a few extra cars added to the starting grid at that Knoxville Invitational deal. So September 20th, we're all excited to go to Knoxville. So we got Huset's this year. We have Belleville, Knoxville.
You mean you're talking for the Knoxville qualifier, or what are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about big time racetracks that that are big and famous. We're going to make all these racetracks famous if we have our way with them. But the stock car guys race them really good at every place we go. The sport runs put on great shows. But Huset's known for great racing with the sprint cars. Knoxville, Belleville. So I mean, some really famous tracks that we're able to take our series to, Rob.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky, aren't we? And some really, really good local tracks in all these states that are giving us opportunities. Yeah, when we joined some races that would have been on the schedule for a while, and we're pretty lucky that we've been part of some races starting out. And we got the great Pelster Memorial we'll be part of this year. We're honored to do that. The Remy LT Memorial, also in Deschler. Once again, I think that's the 5th annual this year. Those are huge races for us. And now the Jim Larson Memorial in Worthington in July. It's cool that we've been asked to be a part of that. So the Larson brothers and their family, and to honor their dad, they're going to have a huge race up there. And for the stock cars, I think Sport Mods are, we haven't even released that purse hasn't came out on our flyer yet, but that's going to be a 3,000 to win Sport Mod night and a 5,000 to win stock car night. So that might be the biggest night of the whole year as far as just purse for those two classes. That's on our schedule. So but all the racetracks are doing a great job. Let's just have these drivers support these tracks, and we'll do a good job and have a nice points fund and try to give a lot of cool stuff away. And we got to do a program on all the great sponsors. I mean, we could go on and on and on. We have so many great sponsors that support us, and we just pass that along, from products to cash and everything else. So we'll make sure we get on that.
I got some stuff sitting here that we need to get in the mail yet. Jake Sacco. Here, let me just grab these here. So, Jake Sacco, Taylor Cool, Rusty Montag. There's BAT certificates from Bob Harris that'll be in the mail for you guys. Dynamic Drive Lines has jumped on board, $200. Robbie Tom will get one of those for Friday night's Dynamic Drive. A&M Polishing, Mike Nichols, Mike and Anita over there. We got certificates from them. Great folks jumping on board. We still have, the Medieval Metalworks certificates, the Roth Racing certificates, Jet Racing supporting us. It just goes on and on. Zamp Racing. It's crazy the support we're getting, and we just want to keep it growing. Can't thank Dirt Shirts USA enough for what they're doing with our apparel line. Can't thank everybody who's buying that stuff from us. Dirt Track Bank, Malvern Bank, Jay Burdick, his whole team there. Great folks that have come on board from the word go. Tailored Computers, Dan helping us out on multiple occasions here with different levels of stuff. So we could go on and on, like you said, Rob, but it's just great to have the support, and we can't thank everybody enough.
Yep, a lot of things to come. We are going to do a better job of getting in a routine here now that life is kind of straightened out with, my kids are done with school. Are your kids quite out of school yet?
Tomorrow at 11 p.m., 11 a.m., 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I wish they'd stay till 11 p.m.
Yeah, right. No, so that's good. And I'm sure you're going to be busy with kids' activities, as I am this summer, and a lot of our racers too. And that's great. And enjoy kids while they're young and being with your family. And at the same time, if we can just all work our schedules out so we can be at the races at the same time, that's what's pretty cool. So that's what our series is all about. And let's just do this a little more often. Maybe every so often throw a podcast out and let's have some fun.
Yeah, we definitely need to do this podcast a little bit more often here. And as we get into racing and some things like that, we'll jump back on board. Can't thank everybody for watching us here tonight. We're going right on an hour and 30 minutes here, Rob. So again, we got to thank everybody, especially Dirt Track Bank for helping us here with the inside line and everything that Jay does just throughout the week with us. Thank you to Jay Burdick and Malvern Bank, Dirt Track Bank. Make sure you're checking those guys out for all your banking needs. So, yeah, Rob, I mean, we got Lexington this weekend, and then we get set and we head north, we head south, kind of all at the same time there in a week. So
Yeah.
A lot of fun coming up, and we'll be posting some updated schedules here, and just get the summer started off on the right foot here with some great racing, and can't thank everybody enough. So I think you're about ready for a nap, it looks like, Rob.
I need to go I'm going to get a nap tonight, and I'm going to rent that Spencer race tomorrow because there's going to be a lot of action out there tomorrow with kind of double shows, you could say. So
Yeah.
excited for Trent and Mike, and I hope it all works great for them. I can't wait to see who could possibly win $25,000 in those classes tomorrow. It's pretty awesome.
It's kind of crazy to say that a sport mod guy and a stock car guy are going to walk away, possibly have the chance to walk away with $25,000 tomorrow night. So good luck to everybody over there. Again, we can't thank Trent and those guys enough for his help with us and the racetracks that they provided, not only at Spencer and Stewart with Mike and Trent coming out to Dawson County with us to do that racetrack. So a lot of guys you got to thank, and I think we need to call it a night, Rob.
Yep. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. We'll be back here. Just watch for us to jump back on here, and it's going to be more often. And have a good evening, everybody.
Sitting 4 rows back from the pole, as I put it in the wall. Second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat